Tonight on NewsWatch Ole Miss, the rebel community is mourning the untimely death of an Ole Miss student.
Plus, hear about how the Israel conflict is making it hard for U.S. citizens to return home.
Oxford. NewsWatch Ole Miss starts now.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Logan Green.
And I'm Juliana Jackson. 19-year-old student Cameron Tucker Parsons of Hattiesburg, Mississippi, died on campus Friday evening, according to university officials. University Police Department records shows Parsons was discovered unresponsive in Stockard Hall at 4:25 p.m. Later, the Lafayette County Coroner's officer confirmed Parsons' death. A visitation and funeral service will be held tomorrow at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Sanford Missionary Baptist Church in Seminary, Mississippi. If you or someone you know is in need of help or grieving, speak to the University Counseling Center, the You Matter Student Support and Advocacy Group, or other campus support services.
A silver alert has been issued for a 35-year-old man in Coldwater. Jerry Leroy Battles was last seen October 6 at 5:30 a.m. on Highway 306 in Tate County. Battles is 5 foot and 10 inches tall, weighs 230 pounds, has brown hair and brown eyes, with a tattoo of a triangle above his right calf. If anyone has information about Battles' whereabouts, contact the Tate County Sheriff Department at 662-562-4434 or 911. The Lafayette County Sheriff's Department has issued a BLO for the lookout for a man who has ran circuit court this morning. Jasper Jenkins, 25, is wearing a black jacket, black pants, a white shirt, and red shoes. He was last seen going east from the square and could be in the area of North Lamar Boulevard and North 14th Street. If anyone sees him, call 911 immediately.
Independent candidate Gwendolyn Gray announces she is dropping out of the 2023 Mississippi governor's election, making it a two-person race between Republican incumbent Tate Reeves and Democratic nominee Brandon Presley. Gray's name will still appear on remaining absentee ballots and the ballots that the public will vote on Election Day, November 7th. However, Gray says she is endorsing Brandon Presley and his campaign for the upcoming election.
Tennessee pastors and pediatricians are launching a campaign to tackle gun violence. 141 children have been treated for gunshot wounds in Memphis this year. The African American Clergy Collective of Tennessee and many more local organizations are calling it a public health crisis and believes the state will become more violent if action is not taken. The campaign aims to collect data, research the cause of violence and who it affects to create preventative strategies and make sure they are adopted. Nearly a dozen Tennessee natives, including a news anchor, are making their way through Israel following surprising attacks that left at least 900 people dead. On Monday, the group continued to travel in what they say already feels like a war-torn country. Alan Williams has an update on their journey as they work to get out.
Yes, it has been a very, very stressful day for 21 of us here. 10 of us, or 12 of us from Knoxville, the others from Cincinnati, Ohio. It started this morning. We went to the Church of the Nativity. This is where Jesus was born in Bethlehem. After we left there, we were leaving. We made a right turn, but we couldn't make that right turn because apparently we saw a crater there. We saw soldiers there, and apparently that there was a mortar or perhaps a rocket that landed there. 3 vans we had to take up over the mountaintops and through there. It took us hours to get through on sand and stone. We finally made it out of there, but we were in Palestinian territory at the time to get away from all of that. We went through the town of Bethany, a biblical town, but it was stop and go, and we didn't certainly want to stop. We didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know if somebody was going to jerk us out of our car, see our passports or whatever. We were pretty stressed out. After leaving there, we got back to our home base in Jerusalem, and 10 minutes later, we heard the sirens all over the city. And then just a few minutes later, we heard 3 large explosions. And those explosions, we understand, came from the Israeli military trying to shoot down rockets. And then about 10 minutes later, we heard the sirens again. All of that created a very, very stressful day for us. Now we're trying to get out. The airport is closed for the temporary time being, but we're still working on that through the State Department and hopefully through our congressman. So,
as death and horrific events continue to rise in Israel, Israel officially declares war on Islamic resistance group Hamas. Mississippi pastor Marty Parks of Old Town Community Church in Ridgeland is currently in Israel and in shelter after numerous attacks began Saturday. He is safe, however, he cannot leave his room due to the war. In response to the attacks on Israel, Governor Tate Reeves has ordered all flags to be flown on public buildings and grounds until sunset.
Have you heard of the famous sportswear brand Lululemon?
Well, the popular brand now has a campaign with Ole Miss football alumni. DK Metcalf joined Lululemon in a campaign promoting their men's athletic wear titled Get Into It.
After graduating from Ole Miss in 2019, Metcalf was signed on a wide receiver for the Seattle Seahawks, who he still currently plays for. In his college days, Metcalf was the 64th overall pick in the 2019 NFL Draft.
The brand Lululemon has been successful with signing well-known athletes as ambassadors. Metcalf joins ultra runner Camille Herron, tennis player Layla Fernandez, NBA star Jordan Clarkson, and NHL player Connor Bernard. Well, I wonder what other athletes from Ole Miss is going to get this Lululemon sponsorship or just with any other high fashion brand.
Yes, it would be great to promote the brand. I'm sure they'll get a lot of more sales with these athletes.
Of course, yes. Coming up next, hear how parents and caretakers can help their kids on Mental Health Day.
And see what us leaders has to say about the Israel conflict and what they can do to help. These stories and more coming up.
Hey, Mississippi.
Hey, Mississippi.
Don't trash Mississippi.
Because picking up litter costs us time
and money.
MDOT spends $3.2 million a year picking up litter.
That's money that could be used to maintain roads and bridges,
Patch potholes,
and focus on improving Mississippi's infrastructure.
Please help us help you.
We can't do it without you.
Don't trash Mississippi.
Don't trash Mississippi.
I'm here at the scene of tomorrow's shooting, where a 15-year-old will kill 4 children, 2 adults, and then turn the gun on himself.
When the shooting starts happening tomorrow, first I'll probably just think it's firecrackers or a car backfiring or something.
He told some of us that his dad kept a gun in his closet, and he always talked about using it on, the people that bullied him. Tomorrow I'll probably say that I wish I told someone.
After the shooting, we're gonna feel pretty bad about picking on him, but until then, we'll probably just keep doing it because he's pretty weird.
Tomorrow I'll probably point out that something has seemed off with him since the beginning of the school year.
And I'm now joined by the officers who will be the first responders tomorrow. What additional details can you share with us?
Well, someone is expected to tell us after the shooting that the shooter has been posting on social media about doing this for weeks.
So how will you explain the shooting to your daughter?
Actually, I won't get to explain it to her because she won't make it.
This is Christine Lynn, reporting from the scene of another shooting we'll say we never saw coming.
Watch Ole Miss. Today is World Mental Health Day. According to the National Alliance on Mental Illness, 1 in 6 U.S. youth between the ages of 6 and 17 experience a mental health disorder every year. Mandy Gaither has more on how parents and caretakers can help promote mental health and well-being.
It's a growing problem, a mental health crisis in the U.S., and young people aren't immune.
For children, we really should be paying attention, not just when there's a concern or a crisis, but ahead of time.
Pediatric psychologist Ariana Howitt is the executive clinical director of On Our Sleeves, a nationwide children's hospital initiative aimed at promoting children's mental health and wellness. She says that starts with caregivers having open-ended conversations with the child.
At dinner time, we check in with each other and we say, what was the hardest part of your day? What was your favorite part of your day? Tell me about your favorite teacher.
Howitt says parents should normalize how their child feels and model good mental health habits.
Talk about your hard days, talk about your hard emotions and what you're doing to cope with those.
Social connections are critical, so Howitt says encouraging kids to have healthy friendships and join in extracurricular activities can also promote mental wellness.
If a child feels like they're included and they're connected and they're a part of their community, their schools, their home environment, that they are more likely to be mentally well or handle stress better.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
2 local journalists died and 1 journalist was injured during an Israeli airstrike on a residential building earlier today, according to the Hamas-controlled government media group. Saeed al-Tawal and Mohammed Saba were covering the evacuation of a threatened building when they got caught in between the airstrike and lost their lives. Head of the media group, Salama Maroof, says both journalists were wearing safety gear and a distinctive journalist marking. The office said the aircraft should have noticed the markings. A statement says before the attack, the office warned journalists about the occupation's aggression towards media entities. Injured journalist Hasham al-Nawaja is injured but is currently receiving treatment.
Dozens of people were injured during a stampede at a pro-Israel candlelight vigil at the University of Florida Monday night. Multiple people were trampled after a person fainted during the event. Witnesses says the sound from the fall startled the crowd, where there was an estimated 1,000 people in attendance. Injuries range from broken bones and concussions to minor cuts and scrapes. Police says they have no reason to believe that there was any malicious intent behind the incident. There are no life-threatening injuries, but those who have sustained injuries are being treated at a hospital in Gainesville. Israel continued to attack Gaza with the deadly airstrikes today, overriding more than 100,000 people and sending countless injured Palestinians to hospitals that are already overwhelmed. This comes after tension between Gaza and Israel, with Gaza leader Hamas threatens to kill civilians, hostages, and to broadcast the executions if the airstrikes target the city without warning. Reed Benin reports.
We have begun, and I emphasize we have only begun to strike at Hamas.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowing that military retaliation on Gaza will only intensify after Hamas's brutal terror attacks in Israel.
The images of the devastation and destruction from the Hamas strongholds in Gaza are just the beginning.
Hundreds of Palestinians have been killed after hundreds of Israelis were killed and kidnapped in Hamas's surprise weekend incursion and bloody assault.
Nothing can justify pulling innocent children from their homes, murdering them, dragging them through the streets.
New York Mayor Eric Adams joining political leaders from across the U.S. from both parties in condemning the Hamas attacks and pledging to stand with Israel.
We will see once again the steadfast resolve of the people of this state and this nation to stand alongside the Jewish people and the nation of Israel.
We stand with Israel.
Those pledges of support coming as Hamas threatens to broadcast the executions of hostages if Israel targets people in Gaza without warning. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
There was a request to take another look at the New York Times versus Sullivan case. This is a case that created a higher bar for public figures to claim libel in civil suits. Since 1964, the case helped the media world to fight off expensive defamation lawsuits by public figures. The ruling made it a requirement that a public figure show actual malice before they can advance in a libel dispute against a newspaper or individual. Attorneys for the media outlet urged the justice not to take up the case. They believe that the cases that were considered as the focus of the reconsideration were honest mistakes by the outlets in question.
According to the American Red Cross, the U.S. blood supply has reached critically low levels. Before COVID-2019, 25% of donations come from school blood drives. To help with these low levels, they are asking high school students and colleges to bring back blood drives. The Red Cross also believes this drop in numbers is due to months of weather crisis, and busy travel seasons also strain the supply. Most people can donate blood when they are 17, and in some states it is even 16 with parental permission. However, the Red Cross is hopeful to see a major turnaround this school year. What you're about to see is pretty interesting, but it's also illegal. Tuesday morning, a man was seen climbing outside of a 40-story Chicago building. The man climbed all the way to the top of the Accenture Tower where police officers were waiting to arrest him. Officers say the scheme was part of a publicity stunt. This stunt caused several nearby streets to be closed down.
A new survey is suggesting that trick-or-treaters may get less candy this year due to inflation. According to a survey done by the sales and marketing group Advantage Solutions, 40% of adults say inflation will impact their Halloween candy purchases. Half of that group says they plan on spending the same amount of money as they did last year, which will result in buying less candy. About 30% say they will be spending and buying less. Inflation is not the only thing increasing prices for consumers. A low supply of sugar will be driving up the cost of the sweet treats. Now let's check in with weather anchor Erica Fontana for a look at your current conditions.
They're coming. Places, everybody. Is my light bright enough? You're such a glow-off.
Well, you know.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. The trees stand tall. Mother, mother, you tell me to stay rooted. The trees' roots go deep. You tell me to focus on my breath, and the trees breathe for the earth. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? Will you be the kind that makes shade, or the kind that shows a new way? Might you be the kind to hug, or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter which you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind. The child had a few more questions after that, and the forest had plenty of answers.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Each year, hurricanes and major flooding threaten cities, towns, and rural homes across the Gulf states. So chances are there will be more storms and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Welcome back. Right now in Oxford, we're looking at a temperature of 81 degrees, and it's a little bit cloudy, but it is feeling a little bit chillier than that as we're getting some wind gusts at around 14 miles per hour, and there's no chance of rain. And then tonight we're looking at a weather that's going to be a little bit cooler. It's going to stay around the same. And then around the state, we're getting no precipitation right now, and then a little bit in Tennessee. And then for a 5-day weather forecast, it's going to look about the same as we head into the rest of the week, and it's going to get a little bit cooler going into next week. Well, I don't know about y'all, but I woke up this morning and it was pretty chilly out. I had to put on my sweatshirt heading to class, so.
It feels great to me though. I don't like hot weather, so.
Oh, yeah.
Me neither. I can't stand hot weather. I hate sweating.
True, yeah, so you must love this time of year.
Yes, I love this time of year. Fall is my favorite time of year.
Me too. So since we have a bye weekend coming up, what's else in sports?
Coming up, I've got the men's and women's basketball teams hosting the 9th annual Square Jam, and SEC honors can keep rolling in for the football team. I'll have that and more in sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. They're At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Do you love sports? Then you should know about STEM. Because maximizing nutrition, analyzing peak muscle performance, calculating the perfect shot, and more are all made possible by science, technology, engineering, and math. In fact, there are more careers than ever in sports science. So if you have a passion for sports, then think about getting involved in STEM and improve everyone's game on and off the field. Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Welcome back. I'm Evan Simmons with Sports Watch. This past Friday, the Rebels men's and women's basketball team hosted the 9th annual Square Jam. Sports reporter Haley Wood has all the action.
Good. I'm currently at Square Jam, here to give you an inside look of everything that happened tonight. I hope you enjoy. Guys, I'm here with Hayden, and who is your favorite Ole Miss basketball player? Jamarian Sharp. Go Jamarian, you have a lot of fans here.
We're good.
Hey guys, I'm here with the one and only Cameron Barnes. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm pretty good, you know. All the energy's bringing it in, but pretty good though.
Good. What are you most excited for about this season?
Shoot, I'm really excited to compete against other SEC schools. You know, it's my first time as a freshman seeing Kentucky in person and stuff, so I'm really looking forward to that.
And are you excited for Coach Beard? What is his pros? What are his cons? Are you excited?
Man, Beard don't have no cons. It's real. It's demanding, but I'm all here for it.
Regular season tips off on November 6th at the SJB Pavilion. The women will be hosting Queens at 11 a.m., followed by the men at 7 p.m. versus Alabama State. Ole Miss senior linebacker Ashanti Sistrunk was named SEC Defensive Player of the Week following his performance versus Arkansas on Saturday. Sistrunk racked up 9 tackles, 1 sack, and his first interception of the season, leading the Rebels defense in a win where they allowed only 36 rushing yards, their lowest total since 2014. The Rebels are currently on a bye week and take on the Auburn Tigers on October 21st at 6 p.m. This week's Monday Night Football matchup featured the Green Bay Packers and the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders defeated the Packers by a score of 17-13. The Raiders' offense did just enough, with quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo completing 22 of 31 passes for 208 yards and a touchdown. Their defense picked off 3 passes in last night's win, including the game-sealing interception in the end zone by Raiders cornerback Amik Robertson. This coming Sunday, the Packers face a bye week, and the Raiders will face the New England Patriots. That's all I've got for sports. Be sure to follow us at Rebel_Watch for the latest sports updates.
For all of those that love to bake, you might want to listen up.
Today is a very special day. Find out after the break.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs? Just more stuff? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Sometimes the things we do or say can make others feel hurt, excluded, or isolated. Everything you say and do creates an impact.
How am I supposed to save the whole world? You can't think about saving the world. You have to think about saving one person.
Because of you, someone's entire life can change. You don't have to be a superhero to have a positive impact.
Friends?
Friends.
It seems that every week we learn of a new national day, and today is definitely sweet.
That's right, Juliana. Happy National Cake Decorating Day. Decorated cakes carry out the theme for many of life's key celebrations, a dessert dating back for centuries with a modern twist.
October 10th is the day to thank your favorite cake decorator and get a decorated treat yourself. Whether with icing, buttercream, or fondant, decorators have many ways to express their edible art.
Social media platforms are encouraging users to use the hashtag National Cake Decorating Day to share their favorite cake designs. My favorite type of icing is vanilla buttercream or whipped icing. That's my favorite.
I think that's my favorite too. I like to put little roses on the corner or something, but with the buttercream vanilla
Get
frosting.
all the color frosting.
I don't really care what it tastes like as long as it looks good.
Very true, yeah.
True.
And Erica, what's in our upcoming forecast?
All right, so coming up for the rest of the week, we're looking at pretty similar weather. It's going to be 77 tomorrow, and Thursday it'll dip down a little, Friday right back up. And then as you see, as we go into Sunday, it's going to be 64 degrees, so maybe we're getting just that hint of fall weather as we end off the summer. All right, well, that's all we have tonight.
Tune in next week. I'm Juliana Jackson.
And I'm Logan Green with your latest news.
With Stormwatch, I'm Erica Fontana.
With Sports Watch, I'm Evan Simmons.
Be sure to keep up with us on your socials and tune in tomorrow at 5.
NewsWatch Ole Miss, where we keep it live and keep it local.